see, you found yourself here once again for more Monogatari, and compared to the usual way that these arcs and series go, I'm enjoying the more fast-paced and loose interpretation of this one, because we get to spend our time with some of the characters and see a bit more of their eccentricities, for better or worse. I'm looking at you, Camberu. We've got many more to go, so let's delve right in. Ah. And let the many memes and remixes of this song start in my head. Yep, there they go. You see, Nadeko is one of the characters where I didn't overly care for her until after the snaky god premise. You know, when she broke off her reliance on Araragi and became her own person. But still, it's hard to hard to disagree with the song being so memeable and rememberable. Popcorn? But you've only just arrived, and why are you here? Was that a snake? Okay. Trying to remember exactly which time period it all happens in or what preceded it. Does that mean we may be seeing skis soon? Quite a lot of popcorn. Okay. Nice hat. I suppose, yeah. Oh, they're working. She's alone in his room without parents. That is, if they don't get buried under the avalanche of popcorn. I'm trying to remember the scenes where she starts, being a bit more assertive, and Nako's voice actor or actress, whatever, she's pretty good. You've got to give it to Monogatari continuing those sweeping kind of just motions when it's completely unnecessary. But again, with a series like Monogatari where it is primarily dialogue based, if it is just two people speaking to each other, probably quite a few people will just be bored and turned off. Now you get into the I'm not sure what word to use. But the etymology of how rumours spread, I guess. Kind of low res for that certain con man. What would you all do if you just happened to come across a nice flowery field and Kaiki Desho was behind the flower? And you have to love this just backing track for Kaiki. You see, Kaiki is such a character, isn't he? But how much of either Kaiki's money or Aragi's is being spent on donuts? You gotta go for those easy targets. I think I now remember the exact bits what happened beforehand. And considering it started off with Nadeko, we've now almost spent the exact time, same amount of time with Kaiki. Not that I'm complaining. Or Conman would kind of say that, wouldn't they? Whether to justify themselves or. I do like how tired Kaiki always looks. And that speech is completely offset by Shinobu munching down on a sweet, tasty treat. Is he right on the money? both literal and metaphorical. And I don't think I've mentioned it so far, but being on an elevator for whatever this amount of time is. Well, having to live on an elevator would be disgusting in my mind. Partly due to the fact that just... I don't use them. I prefer to walk. But you only get a set view, don't you? I've completely forgotten why I brought that up. But that was, what, Nadeko and Kaiki. So, since it was brought up, are we getting a Karen and Ski episode next? And I will say that I actually quite wanted a popcorn maker. I used to have one as a child. But, you know, since moving out, it wasn't one of the things I brought with me. Of course, it would at least keep me entertained slightly, wouldn't it? And as usual, when Kaiki or pretty much any of the other specialists are involved, I have a tough time keeping up with them. Especially with what they're going on about. It's a bit harder when I have had a 8-month gap in between the events and meant to remember, but still. Will these little episodes come back with our post-Snake Nadeko and that change in her character as well? And who else do we have other than the other specialists and Dononoki? And I'll let it be stated here before I get into the next one. Considering a certain episode, I'm rather hesitant to see much more interaction between Araragi and Karen. I think you know which one I mean. But let's go. Great, it was Karen. And did I forget that her intro had a very slight Scar vibe? The bee. I think I remember that. Not one of the most memorable of oddities. But some great visuals. And are we going to get constant justice? Justice! That kind of talk from, obviously, Karen. Okay. I have to say, I definitely preferred her with the longer hair, but still. to have a presence that is so they're so kind of unnoticeable. I've forgotten where my train of thought was for the tree, by the way. I guess it would be kind of difficult to focus on studying. Oh, he's in a bad mood today. Thanks for those sound effects. Oh, that's what he's questioning right now. I think she's kind of correct in a way, but still, to be condensed into his personality is just thinking about boobs. Ah, there she is. The very assertive Karen. Doesn't seem like you have much of a choice. 20 words or less. You've already used up 12. I feel like you're really trying to well, butter him up to do that task, whatever it is. So a tree mysteriously popped up out of nowhere. How do you just discover a tree in a place that you frequent, but still? To just remove it. Tap out, Aragi. It's your only hope. So it is a tree. I feel like there's a lot of questions that get asked in this that really don't really have to in normal conversation. Is someone just going around and planting trees? Hopefully that branch shadow just doesn't grow too much. Okay. Scary? No. Slightly odd? Sure. What kind of explanation is going to be given at the end of this one, though? And I think the growing shadow of the tree is just showing how long this conversation seems to have been held for. Seems unfair on the tree. You can relocate it, maybe? Or make it have some sort of significance for the dojo. Don't worry, I'll do something. Immediately pass it on to someone else. Well, there are many reasons that like foliage and trees need to be taken down, so oh god. Really? That's the word that keeps getting seen? Yeah, okay, fair enough. His head is filled with boobs, I guess. But I do agree with him. There's been many times where I've learned a word or a phrase or something, and then I see it everywhere. Is it the fact that I'm now seeing it everywhere, or because I've become aware of it? I did actually used to want a climbing wall on my wall. Okay, good. I'm glad that you could sort that out. And is this while Hanako was still travelling, and that's why the room isn't furnished at all and suitcase and whatnot? Okay. So just move the goalposts. That's what the plan is. Oh, what is he reaching for? So, kind of what I said. Have it some sort of reverence and give it a reason to exist. Although, if it was people who weren't overly religious or fond of tradition or superstitious or anything like that, I don't think that argument would really work. Then again, they might not also be scared of a tree. She's put the maps away. Depends on the circumstances or the lie itself. You know, context really does matter. But a slim chance is still a chance. That's what you're saying. And Araragi as a character is all for taking those slim odds. I guess the human condition as well would... Well, we want to believe that there is something higher than ourselves, keeping watch, making sure, you know, things are going to be okay. Because generally, there we go, third time's lucky. It brings a bit of... Well, we can calm down then, thinking that someone else is in charge. That's why all throughout history, with the many, many different religions that have been proposed, hang on, was that Ogi? Ogi? Please hold that an Ogi episode off for a while. At least this time that Araragi asked for Hanekawa's help, they weren't kind of in a storage cupboard together within quite close proximity, and nothing extra was asked for that help. And as much as we love to drag him through the dirt, considering his sister acts like that, I can't entirely blame Araragi for some of his actions, although most of them, yes. I'm surprised that the show hasn't referenced him being on some sort of list. But I think the most memorable was getting to see Kaiki again, even if he didn't really do anything special. But he did manage to get that kind of weird fairground music in my head, even though I don't believe it was played at any point in the episode. So, congratulations, Kaiki. He's won once again. But if you've enjoyed, please let me know. You can like the video or leave a comment down below, and if you want to join me for more in the future, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. But all in all, halfway through, and then more Monogatari after, I hope you get some rest, so you can join me again in the future. I'm glad I don't have any sisters, but more than that, I am glad I don't live in the tipsy-topsy world of anime, where normal human interaction seems to be a thing of the past. But I must say, what is definitely helping me keep grounded in reality is Flawed Otaku, Sal, Raywin, Aegis TR, Dynamite 1997, Aisha Rem, Shuan ASD, and everyone else's support. Because without them, I may have fallen further into the hole that is anime and manga. I still see a light and a way out, which is nice. So thank you.